Discover College Soccer podcast is sponsored by VIO. VIO is the #1 AI camera solution helping players capture college recruitment videos. Check out their new starter and family options by clicking on the link in the description or visit Discover College Soccer to learn more. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Discover College Soccer. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Coach Sho from Mount Mercy men's program in Iowa. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It's just before Thanksgiving. You guys have wrapped up your season, so I'm sure you're hot and heavy on the recruiting trail. Um, kind of talk to me a little bit about your timeline. Did you guys do a lot of recruiting work during the season, or are you really focused on, hitting the ground running now? And what class are you just focused on 24s? Are you looking at 25s? What's that look like right now for you guys?
Yeah, so in terms of recruiting, we are kind of switched on the whole season, but of course, during the season we focus more on playing and then current team. So about right now, it's kind of the time we really start focusing or even following up a little bit and um, go from there. But we typically recruit just year ahead. So we are right now focusing on 24s, and then sometimes some students, they want to plan things ahead and then they reach out, so we'll try to follow them up. But yeah, we focus on 24s right now, and then we recruit through until season begins or class starts. So that's kind of the timeline for us.
Okay. Well, if you take a look at your roster, I noticed two things. One, it's quite large, so I'm guessing you guys have a reserve team. And two, it's fairly heavy international, which at the NAI level isn't that surprising, but you guys are in Iowa. So talk to me about, recruiting internationally. How do you guys do that? Are you looking at domestic players? How does your recruiting mix happen?
Yeah, so in terms of roster size, I think every school kind of experienced COVID year, seniors, stuff like that. So last season, year before, we had a lot of 50-year seniors and then just seniors. And then we weren't, expecting them to come back that season. So we kind of recruited hard. So that way, our roster size kind of inflated a little bit. And then, those seniors graduated and we are like, oh, we need to, help the team a little bit through recruiting. So kind of, roster size um, was big, results of that. But we also have, good reserve team setting. So, everybody gets minutes to play. The reserve team have their own schedule. And then also, injuries or maybe yellow card suspension happen. So it's nice to have somebody on their toes at the reserve level. And then sometimes, varsity team, if you don't get playing minutes, they go and play reserve team games. So that's kind of, how we manage things. And then right now, I think we have about 25 countries represented within the team. And we always say it's nice to have a good mix between local players and then international players. But right now, it just happened to be we have more international students. Um, and I'm originally from Japan, so I have that a little bit connection with that with my home country. It's easier to talk to students and help them guide through the process. Our head coach Amir is from originally from Bosnia, played professionally first division in Croatia and Bosnia, so he has friends all over the place. So that way, sometimes it's easier for us to create that connection. Players from Balkan area, Eastern Europe, or Japan. But we try not to have one big group that's from maybe one same region or one country, because we don't want have one group dominating group culture or group idea. And we like to as coaches, we really like to learn from different culture countries. So we like to have maybe some different languages or different cultures we can pick up. Um and sometimes it takes a while to get it going because we have players from all over the place. And first week of practice, you tell them, hey, we train at 4 p.m. and then maybe Japanese guys and German guys, they're ready to go at 3:30, and maybe somebody else shows up right on time to go, and then um I shouldn't name this, but a couple of Spanish guys, maybe they show up on 4:10, and then they're like, "Oh, that's around 4 p.m. We are good." And like, no, we're not good. So we'll talk about it. But yeah, so it's kind of fun, kind of see different skill set to culture show up in those little moments, and then we try to address that. So towards the end of the season, we once we start clicking, we are a really good team.
Yeah, no, that's it's very funny. I got the pleasure of running a clinic in Japan once,
Oh
and
wow.
it was the nicest, you know, amazing to have at the end of each session the kids taking off their bibs, folding them in a perfect line and saying thank you. And it's like, oh man, I wish we could get that to rub off on some of these American players. But anyway. Um, so in terms of the domestic side of things, are there specific events that you guys like to attend to look at players? Do you guys do ID camps or work other ID camps? How does that all look?
Yeah, so three of four coaches on the staff, I guess 3 of 5 coaches on the staff, we are all high school head coaches also. So in Iowa, we play spring high school soccer, so that kind of helps us to do that. And then also Amir used to be head coach, and then at one high school, and then I took over after him, and he's now a little bit more of a commentator side of local TV or refing a little bit. But so that way, we are able to create real connection between our own players at high school level, or we actually get to play lots of high school players here in town. So that kind of helps to evaluate players more in practice session or game environment. Um, build genuine connection, and also again we keep good connection with local club coaches as well. 2 3 good clubs in Cedar Rapids area, so um, we often talk to them, and some of them invite us to ID camp, so to run the training there. So that's kind of main things, and then of course we go to Kansas City Showcase. We couldn't go this weekend. It was just logistically not able to do that, but we try to go. I go to Miami Showcase every summer. It's more it's a little bit more international focused showcase, but I try to go there and stuff like that. So especially within Iowa to within 4 hour drive, that's kind of the area we can make a trip and then find new players.
Okay. Well, whether it's international player, domestic player, any of these things, what are kind of the things that you're looking for when you make an offer to a player, both on the field and off the field stuff?
Yeah, so off the field, we like somebody who works hard, really. That might be cliche, but us coaches, we like to see players maybe come at this level, and when they graduate, I want them, somewhere here. So that way it's really important for us to see somebody who wants to be better, who wants to do good. We also want somebody that cares maybe less about themselves, and then cares more about the team, because at the end of the day, it's a team sports, and if your team does well, you depend. Oh, I guess it depends how well you do, but you should be happy if your team does well. And one other thing is we need somebody that's people smart or emotionally intelligent, so they know what their actions mean or influence others, and things like that. And then we just we like having kids that love the sports. So we have our offices next to our team room or in the team room, and then Friday morning, Saturday morning, we just hear guys just sitting in the team room and watching Premier League or Champions League. So we like to see somebody who lives the game, because that's what we did as coaches. And then okay, Friday morning they have classes, so they go to class, but if time allows and stuff like that. And then we sometimes have to adjust our practice time based on Champions League schedule. So that's kind of the negative side of bringing kids who love the sports, but it is what it is. And then yeah, playing wise, again, we need somebody who can play both ways, somebody who works hard. So that's what we are known for. we are a tough team to beat. We adjust really well against other opponents or against opponents. Um, so that way we need to have players who like to play both ways. Um, but we also like to have lots of technical players, especially in the midfield. On the winger spot, we need to have either really technical players who can take 1-on-1, defend the 1-on-1, or somebody who's fast. It's been very successful for us. Um, Defenders, center back, goalkeepers, again, they need to be technical, but because of the conference we play in, some of them, well, they need to be a little bit more physical and they need to be a little bit more, strong in the air and stuff like that. So that's kind of, player profile. We try to keep the ball as much as needed in order to score. So that way, we try to build up from goalkeeper, defense line through midfield. And, we were really well playing to one side and switching to the other side of winger, and then those wingers can do their thing and then finish the attack in the box. So that was kind of playing style, and then we tried to high press. We tried to counter press when we lose the ball. So that's kind of whole playing style, and then we need players that fits in that style.
Okay. Well, let's shift gears a little bit, talk more about the school. I'm sure there's folks out there not familiar with Mount Mercy there in Cedar Rapids. So, tell me, what have you found to be really the awesome things about the school? Some things maybe we wouldn't even know by just by going through the website.
Yeah, so I went to school here. So I have been around 10 years now. Coach Amir, our head coach, has been here for 28 years after escaping the war from Bosnia. So no, we have been here a long time, and then we stay here just because it feels like this is our home. So that hopefully players, I think all players hopefully feel that small kind of community uh home away from home environment from us. And maybe you've heard of Iowa Nice. People in Iowa, they're really nice. You walk around campus, or if you go to grocery store, they just say hey, how are you, how's your day? And then when I first come here, I was like, oh, why is this stranger talking to me? It's usually if I've been to I mean, I lived in Japan, or I've been to different big cities, and I'm usually when a stranger talks to you, they want something from you. But Iowa, it's not like that. So if you walk around campus, you just make friends, or you'll see familiar faces, professor and then staff, come watch our game. So if you're eating in the cafeteria, they'll talk about the game, how well you play, or how things go. So that's a really fun part about it. And um yeah, and then what else? And then facilities, we are getting lucky with a little bit of investment towards athletic. So stadium is about 6 years old. That field is named after Amir. So that kind of tells you how much impact we had in the area. We built, or we made new indoor facility as well. So there's weight room, athletic training room, golf simulator, batting cages, and stuff like that. I can send you videos if you're interested. And then we also have building next to it is the outdoor sports coaches building. So in that team room, we have a couple of TVs, ping pong table, pool table. So facilities, top notch as well. What else? What else? And then we have tunnels on campus. I think we talked about it before. So that way, if you live on campus, you don't really have to go outside when it's snowing or raining. And you might see students wearing the flip-flops, tank top, and the shorts during the middle of winter, and then they just walk around tunnels. That's kind of interesting to see. So that's kind of overall kind of fun facts around our school.
Okay. Well, one of the things about school is the actual school part, right? You got to have the student part of student athlete, and I'm sure even for international students especially, there can be a bit of a challenge in, balancing academics and athletics. So
Yes.
how do your student athletes really make sure they're successful in the classroom and on the field? What kind of support systems does the school offer to make sure that they are successful?
Yeah, so we have a center. It's academic excellence, academic center for excellence. So that center, we have peer academic coaches. So there's students who excel in classes. They also help others to do that. You can get tutoring services. We also have professional writing support. So that way kids can go there. We have them sign up once they get here. So that's first year here as a transfer, and then somebody who needs a little bit more support. We have them sign up and then get some extra support from A Center. We also have softball associate head coach Skylar also works in A Center, so we have really good communication logistics there. We also have small classes, and then between me and Mia, we know most of the professors. So if our students don't show up to class maybe twice or three times, we right away get email. Hey, Matthew haven't been to classes for 2-3 times. Can you check on him? So we'll do that, and then so that way we can try to help help them before things get really bad. And then us knowing most of the professors, we can help a student register for better classes. I wouldn't say better classes, but better fits. Maybe some courses they shouldn't take first semester here or during the soccer season, just because time conflicts and stuff like that. So we'll do that, and then some of the professors, they're really understandable of how athletics works, and then some of them invite our students to their houses during Thanksgiving break or Christmas break, because a lot of them maybe they don't get to go home. So we really have good support system around the school.
No, it sounds like it. Well, let's shift gears, talk a little bit more about the team and the season. I mean, you guys are in a tough conference. I think there's still three of your conference foes remaining in the NAI tournament already, or in the final, what, 8 or 16 or wherever they're at this point. So it's a tough conference. In terms of, um, you talked a little about the style of play that you guys like to implement, but how would you describe kind of Coach Amir's style of coaching and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so Coach Amir, he knows how to get best out of you. So sometimes players that are good at one thing, and then maybe not great at the other things, and then sometimes you see bad side, but he'll try to get best out of you using that best side. And then he's very good at communicating. He will talk to each players every practice, which is sometimes hard to do that. So that way he knows where you stand mentally, or where things stand. And then so that way again we try to push our players to be confident and do their best at what they are good at. We are also good at kind of matching against different opponents. Heart of America, not only the strongest conference, but there are different playing style in this conference. So one day we go out there and play extreme direct style of football, direct high press, and then maybe 2 days later we have to go to maybe Missouri Valley, former national champion, who plays beautiful possession football. So I think especially defense, starting from defensive side, we match things really well, so that way we can have more time on the ball and then attack whatever is presented. um yeah, that's kind of how Amir coaches. And then we try to keep things, we are serious people. Amir play professionally, but we also try to keep things fun, so that way I think kids don't burn out, and season's long. So this time of the year, sometimes we give them break to kind of recover, but overall long-term kids don't burn out. So results of that, maybe 25 or 27 alumni, former players, became head coach somewhere else, just because passion was going through without burning out. Yeah, so that's kind of how it is. And then for us again, we try to take care of our players on and off the field. So we one of us will wait for the players at the airport with a welcome package. First day when they get here. We have laundry basket, hangers, pillows, beddings, and little snacks ready, so they don't have to survive. Try to survive. First week, or call their parents and like, oh, I don't know what to do. So we'll try to help them that, and we drive them to bank. Some kids ask me for my car so they can go get driver's license or stuff like that. So we'll do that, and then for me, I work a little bit more on tactical side, and then overall training. So I have to make sure we're on the same page constantly, and then try to kind of draw what his vision is on the field at the training pitch. But I think we make a really good team, and then we also have another assistant coach, JP Graham, played for us a long time ago, and works in the local high school head coach also. He's been coach here for 17 years as well, so we really really understand each other well, and um kind of we have to communicate still, but a lot of time we understand each other really so well that we don't have to say things, and that's kind of cool about it as well.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, Coach, you've been generous with your time, told us a lot about the school, but I want one more question for you, and that is, if you had one piece of advice or nugget of information that you wish every player, parent, family going through this recruiting process knew, what would that be?
um so I think starting early is pretty important. I don't in my personal life I don't start things early enough, but I think starting early, just even just researching or knowing the names of schools that's around you is big first step. And then sometimes you have to be more proactive than you think you should, because if we don't know your name, we can't focus you at the showcase or something like that. So being proactive is really important. And then at the end of the day, this is big decision for you to make, and there's a lot of factors, so you have to put everything on the table. Financial side of big thing, but also location, or how do you fit in the squad, or how do you like the coaches? Do you see playing under him and stuff like that? So you have to put all of the options on the table. Um, for us, we don't really make deadlines or anything, so we just tell them, hey, just take your time, and then if you're ready to make the decision, the time. But we also ask them to be very communicative, so we know where things stand. And then it's nice for coaches to know, like, if you're not coming, just tell them, so that way both sides can move forward. And I really appreciate when the recruits say, hey, I really like your school, but some things didn't work out, I'm going somewhere else. I really respect that, and then that makes me want to help them if something happens in the future. So I think it's, again, building good relationship, good communication is, I think, the key to anything really. And so those are the things I think important for recruits. But also, there are some technical things like, hey, what's in your highlight video? Is it really what coaches want to see? If you're doing just rainbow or heel flick, maybe you don't get you might get likes on the social media, but you might not get good attention from coaches and stuff like that. So, and then we see small things like, if you assist and if your teammate scores, Amir says, oh, this guy's celebrating with his teammates, that's a great thing. So coaches see different things, so it's kind of nice to see, like, what are you good at, and then figure out how to show that as well in highlight if you're making highlights. Yeah, so those are kind of my 2 cents. And I think some kids, they focus too much on, oh, I'm just going to NCAA Division 1, or I just want to stay in D1, D2. Because if you, especially men's soccer, if you look at top schools, each division could compete against each other. And if you watch JUCO nationals, I mean, they're amazing players, amazing players. And NAIA, because we are international heavy, again, we see some players, I don't even know how they get to, US or college level. So I don't think they should, limit themselves just based on the divisions. I think they should just, open their options out in the air. And because, our conference, when Central Methodist was winning back-to-back national championship, um, against Division One schools, I think they were 7-1 in 2 year period. So that's divisions really don't show you the real difference in competition if the program's doing the right thing. So
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Wish you the best of luck in this recruiting season. And if you get down to Florida for anything, give me a shout. All right.
sounds good. We'll do that.
All
Thanks so
right.
much, Matthew.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Hi, everybody. It's Matt from Discover College Soccer. I hope you're enjoying the podcast, whether that's on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I also wanted to let you know about the Discover College Soccer Study Table. This is our brand new online portal that is complete with a 14-part online course giving you all of the ins and outs of the college soccer recruiting process. There's also a wealth of resources such as checklists, templates. There's the spreadsheets that have every soccer program in the country along with their coaches, their contact information, their social media information, some basic stats about the school, and more. Plus, there's an online community where you can ask your questions, share your wins, your losses, any questions that you may have around the college soccer recruiting process. It's all there at the Discover College Soccer study table that you can find at discovercollegesoccer.com/study table, and hopefully we will see you there.